So I think the fundamental idea that people have in their heads is that we've got education in one world and the people who are training in this entirely separate world. And the people who are in the education world, they're not very many of them, and they're at universities, at schools, and they're teaching theory, and then the rest of us are over in this other world, the practical world, implementing these technologies, using them every day, inventing new technologies, and just and we don't really have a lot of time for this theoretical world. And I think that the big thing that we have to do today is think about how can we bridge that gap? How can we bring these worlds together? And that starts with thinking about the fights that we're not having with each other about these issues. We're not really talking about how we're going to bridge that gap. We don't have a lot of people from academia coming into our midst and talking to us about how they train people and what they need from us. And we don't often go to academia, us from the industry, and say, hey, here's exactly the knowledge and skills that we want out of the students that you're graduating, rather than, here's this set of technology that they don't know. We're not really engaging in those arguments. And I think, I was at the System in Education workshop on Tuesday, and that workshop's been happening since 1999. And my friend Steve that was there saying, we're still having the same debate. We're not moving the conversation forward into how we're really going to solve these problems. So if there's one thing that you take from this talk, walk out the door and do, I'd really love it if you would just pick a fight with somebody about education. Find out what it is. We pick fights about all sorts of different technology. We got VI versus Emacs. We got Puppet versus Chef. We got all these other technologies that we argue about. I really think that we should start fighting with each other intensely, maybe, with some insults. I don't know. Start arguing with each other about these issues. What does it really mean to educate someone in system administration? What are the core things that they need to know? And how is that separate from the technologies that we're using every day? And what you should get out of that is an understanding of how the people around you are training and teaching the people that they know. And from that understanding, I think that we're gonna make something really good happen. So I want to arm you with some information, some anecdotes to start these fights with. And so I'll give you an example. So when the training experience that I had, so I started out my career at Intel, which is a very process-heavy company. And so, that's kind of my background. I'm really into that process-oriented stuff. But I started working for a consulting company. It was a virtual organization.